Hello, I'm Emma Kislingbury and this is Peter Rudd-Clark, and we are both from RPC's Medical and Life Sciences team. And in the second of our mini vlog series, we are going to be focusing today on the medical product sector again, but specifically on artificial intelligence and diagnostics. So Pete, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what is happening in terms of diagnostic testing and artificial intelligence in the medical sector?
Yeah, so increasingly as you go to hospital as a patient, you're going to see more involvement of computers, software, algorithms, all to do with diagnosis and testing and planning treatment solutions for you. And in the old days, you'd be very much used to having a conversation with a doctor supported by human colleagues, and that doctor would bring to bear their experience, their training, and in some ways their human intuition to come to a solution for you. But increasingly, we're looking at artificial intelligence, so computer-assisted learning, algorithms, programs, which will be doing the job in a large part of what doctors currently do. And the future's here already. This is not totally science fiction. I was just reading the papers today that advances have been made in, for example, diagnosing Alzheimer's, where there are tiny changes that can be picked up when a computer reads a scan that can't be seen by a human doctor for weeks or months before the condition really develops. And the thinking is that if you can get computers involved in this kind of diagnosis and computers learning as they go, then more lives can be improved more quickly. But it's going to be a bit of a cultural change. We put up a slide here for you to look at. You've got pros and cons, whether you've got a doctor or a machine. The doctor, years of experience, human training, a machine might be more accurate and might be quicker. And I think there's going to be quite a shift and people will just have to get used to it. But it's all part of the landscape of life sciences that we talked about in our last blog, where the government's really pushing this idea of more support for innovation and more support for computer programs and artificial intelligence.
Oh, absolutely, and it's not just in the diagnosis sector as well, it's also in actual surgery, and it's not a new thing there either. Already, robots are taking an ever more increasing role in surgical procedures. Currently, it's very much the case that most procedures will involve effectively an extension of a human surgeon, so a surgeon controlling some form of robot to undertake a more standard type of surgical procedure. But we could be looking at surgeons looking less like this and more like this in the near future. And what does this mean if things perhaps went wrong? If there were a claim, for example, who would you be looking at in terms of responsibility? Would it fall with the hospital? Would it fall with the treater consultant or the manufacturer of an artificial intelligence device, such as a robot, or the software engineer who designed that particular element that might have failed? So things are going to change in terms of claims. We're likely to see less of the sort of traditional negligence claims and more in terms of product liability claims, and more crossover between the two. And we've put up a slide here which shows some of the things that you may need to focus on in terms of limiting exposure as the supply chain effectively extends, and there are potentially more defendants in claims to come.
So thank you for joining us for this vlog. For our next one, we're going to look at some of these themes we've been talking about to do with artificial intelligence in the future, but examining them through a couple of publications, a couple of books that have come out recently that really project into the future to see where things may be going and where the risks might be.